Hi, Science Daffodils. A very good day to all of you. And today I share with you all. Got your textbooks and you have started. Get a few more are there. You will make it up soon. And the books. May I ask you children to refer your textbooks and see at the back of every lesson the exercises and the questions are given. You please see that each day you go through the portions, make your own syllabus and your own schedule, and you see that you children carry on with your learning process. And I am also happy to tell you that there are some companies who have volunteered themselves to supply you with guides and additional books. So those of you who need to get references or to know some more details from of your lessons, you can contact us or come over to the school and see if you can like it. If you like it or if you feel like getting some guide in the absence of a teacher, that kind of guide will help you to make you learn better. So I appeal to all of you to use all these supplies and all these materials that is provided in the school, and you children continue to keep learning. So that is very important, once this lockdown period is over and once we come back to the schools, we start learning like before, you will find it easy and you will not forget many things that you have already learned. So it's an appeal from all of us here that you children will take a little interest towards your learning. It's your life, it's your future. So see that you children make use of these materials. And may I request all the 10, 11 and 12 class students, you are in a very important period of your life now. So I have thought today the class is going to be on direct and indirect speech, and we'll take a short break from this grammar class for now. And maybe in the next class, I will be focusing on +2, the first lesson, the two gentlemen of Verona. We will be coming back to the lesson and the poem. So after once we learn the prose and poetry, the non-detailed, the supplementary portion, you can read casually and understand the story, and thereby you can answer the questions. So from class 12, then 11, then 10, then 9, likewise I will be coming out and sharing the videos to you all, and see that children you warm up yourself, get to know these facts, and other subjects are also being videoed for you, and see that you children catch up and you start learning. Okay, so that's an appeal from all of us. And for today, whether you children like or not, this is going to be an important class, important topic for particularly the 10 +1 and +2, and quite important to classes 6 to 9. So all those students belonging to the 6 to 12 group, I pray that you children all will pay a little bit interest. Take a notebook first of all before you could start opening the video. Start seeing it. Take up a notebook, and there are so many rules which have been made very simplified. As far as possible, I have made the rules into very simple terms, and take down all those, and after that I have given you around 10 examples. See each example how it is changed, how from direct to indirect is changed. It is quite easy only because already we have learned the sentence pattern, active, passive. These are all basic for direct and indirect. So only I started with the sentence pattern so that you will make it clear with what is a subject and what is a verb and what is the object. They are having interchange in every part of the grammar. These terms are used. So to say now, I hope and pray that you children will take up a notebook along with you and start with your class. Okay, so that it will help you. It will help you keep in your memory, as well as you can continue to practice it. Those of you who have got your textbooks, refer your textbook and see that so many exercises are given and at the end of your book, last pages also grammar exercises are given there. That also you can see to it and convert from direct to indirect, indirect to direct. So welcome to the class. I hope you all children are doing well, and God is with you and your parents are guiding you all well. So let's continue with the class now. and I have told you to take down your notebook. Write there as the topic direct speech and indirect speech. This direct speech and indirect speech is very important in our speech, speaking, while we speak, while we report, or while we listen to somebody, we are doing that direct speech. While we are reporting that to someone else, that becomes the indirect speech. So in a classroom or in a bus stand or in a railway station or in any situation, like friends meeting each other, talking to you. So direct way of talking, directly we talk, we convey many things, we convey important things, sometimes we convey unimportant things, and sometimes we narrate an incident, sometimes we narrate an accident. So this is how this direct speech will take place. Directly two people or two group of people are concerned, and they talk to each other about a matter, or regarding that particular times what something happening, that matter they talk. That becomes the direct speech. And what then is the indirect speech? Indirect speech is that what happened here in a particular place is taken to another place and narrated to another group of people. Okay, say for example, you are coming to the classroom. In the classroom, from morning till evening, you stay along with the teachers and students. Many things from morning to evening, many things happen. And these things, some of the parents are very careful and very smart enough to ask you in the evening, what have you learned in the class today? And whatever has happened in the class today, your parents will be asking you that. And some nice children, they will begin to narrate it like a story. Oh, mama, this is what happened. This was how it was. This was how I answered. This is the mark that I have got. So all these things you will narrate it to an entire new people, to group of new people. In the classroom, you have your friends and teachers. But at home, you have your parents and yourself. So these two situations, you imagine. This is what is in the classroom happens. For example, I am telling you, what happens in the classroom becomes the direct speech, and what happens, what is narrated at the house becomes the indirect speech. I hope I have given you an introduction, and children just capture it. It need not be a classroom and a home. It can be anywhere, two different kind of places and two different kind of people we are narrating to. Okay, we are reporting. You must have heard so much about the reporters, at the spot of an accident or an incident. The reporters swarm around with cameras and with these headphones and things like that, and they take the video and they take the audio, and then they narrate it, they report it to the other group, to another group. So that becomes the reported speech. So indirect speech is otherwise known as also reported speech. Okay, so indirect speech is otherwise called as reported speech. Direct speech is the direct speech only. Now, so see here, now we are coming to the direct speech. See, just to define what exactly the direct speech in grammatical is, what is said by the speaker directly, what is said by the speaker directly to someone or to some group, that becomes the direct speech. And it is put within inverted commas. Second quality or second rule, to say this direct speech, direct speech is put within inverted commas. Children are quite aware, inverted comma or quotation. In my language, I say it quotation. Now see, this is what is the inverted comma. You have a comma, an open quote, a full stop, and a close quote. Are you able to follow me? So this total whole thing, this comma, open quote, full stop, and close quote, all these four put together is called a quote or inverted commas. Is that clear? Okay, this will be there in a direct speech. And next clue, a comma, open quote, a question mark, and a close quote. Are you following? A comma, an open quote, a question mark, and the close quote. Okay, now for example, you see here, I have given you an example. Before that, here, another one. You have a comma, an open quote, an exclamatory sign, and then then close quote, right? So this much all put together is called the inverted comma or the quotation. Now, a reporting speech. This is in the direct speech. Reporting speech or the direct speech. Here is a sentence for you. The doctor said to the patient. See, this is the reporting speech. The doctor said to the patient. Now, the doctor becomes the patient. Are you following? The doctor in this case becomes the speaker. Said to, that said to becomes the reporting verb. And the patient is the listener. This is how we have taken that sentence pattern, you know. Initially, we started the class with the sentence pattern. Now, you have this one as the subject. Okay, subject or noun is the same with the speaker. Said to is the verb, right? Then the object we took here, it's slightly changed. The names take another form, you know, speaker, reporting verb, and the listener. The doctor said to the patient. Okay, so that is how the reporting part will be. Now, here you have the reported speech or the indirect speech. The actual speech of the speaker is reported. The actual speech, no, what happened, what a speaker spoke is reported, is told, is what is called the indirect speech. Now, is reported or narrated in the words of the reporter with certain changes in the verb, time and place and the person, right? So, what actually happened has been narrated to somebody else with the slight changes. What are the certain changes? In the verb, in the time, in the place and in the person. It's not here, you write down here, and place and person. Now, for example, take this tablet for 3 days. The doctor's example I gave you, no, continue with that, same sentence only. The doctor said to the patient, take this tablet for 3 days. Here supposed to be an open quote. You put an open quote over here and a comma also. After the doctor said to the patient, comma, open quote, take this tablet for 3 days. Have you put in the paper, in your notebook? Do that, write it down. The doctor said to the patient, comma, put open quote and write in the capital letter. Here always after the quote, it will always begin with the cap. So take this tablet for 3 days. This entire thing is called as the reporting speech or the direct speech. Okay. Now, changes. We have already seen changes in the verb. There have to be some changes in the verb. Now, here is a word called set. This set will be repeatedly coming into the direct form of the speech. So, what you need to do is, set supposed to be written in the indirect form as told. Both give the same meaning. Set, he told, same only. But when we write it in the reported speech, we put told, not set. Similarly, here is a word set to. Remember children, set to will change into told, not told to. Clear? This is wrong. The told to is wrong. It should not be taken. Okay? And says in the present form, so we put as tells. Told, tells, no, in the present form. Okay. Now, set can be also changed into asked if it is a question. If there is going to be a question, then it can be changed into asked in the reported speech. And once again set will be changed into a requested if the sentence is in the request form. Okay. And then set can also be changed into exclaimed. So, supposing there is something amazing, you know, something that excites you, you need to put this word called exclaimed. So, you have told, tells, asked, requested and exclaimed instead of set, said to, says, said. Now, repetition of set. Why the set repeated here again and again? This is how we will write while we write in the direct speech. But while we change those sentences in the indirect form, we said, he asked, he exclaimed, she requested, she told me, he tells. See, likewise we change in the reported speech. Clear? So, now we move on. Next change, supposed to be taken in the tense form. See, all that is why we have already learned the tense forms also. Okay, so that sentence pattern, active voice, and this tense are very important prior to important and major part of the grammar. So this is one of the important and major part of the grammar. So we have already finished the easiest ones. Now you see the tense, tense, present tense already first tense we learned as what? Present tense. This changes into past tense, the simple present tense. Do you remember, if you were very carefully listening to my class, you will know the present tense and past tense. That is the first part in the present tense, and in the this is also the first part in the past form. So present form, past form, the present tense immediately changes into past tense. And present continuous, progressive, we learned progressive and ing form. So present continuous into past continuous. Is playing will change into was playing. Were coming will change into are coming will change into were coming. And then present perfect to past perfect. Present perfect, I have. Past perfect, I had. I had been, I have been, I had been, right? Okay, now present perfect continuous into past perfect continuous. The similar thing, present perfect continuous will change into past perfect continuous. And if the verb in the reporting speech is in the present tense, then the verb in the reported speech will not change. This is a very important rule for you to remember, that the verb in the reporting speech, that is before the quotation, before the commas, the first part of the sentence or the last part of the sentence. At the higher secondary level, that quote will not be always in the first part. It may be at the end also. The speech may be started and the speaker may be given at the end. Most of the sentences begin with the speaker and what is said in the center, and then the sentence will be closed. But again, whichever form it is, you please note that the sentence outside the quote or before the commas, the part before the commas is in the present tense. Clear? The verb in the reporting speech. Reporting speech in the sense, the first part before the commas is in the present tense, then the verb in the reported speech will not change. See, there will be two verbs, one in the reporting speech and another verb in the reported speech. So the verb in the reporting speech is in the present tense, means the verb in the reported speech will not change. I have given you an example, and while we learn the example, we learn it in detail. But remember, this is a very important fact that you children supposed to learn, because everywhere in otherwise in the past tense, the tense will change like this. Past tense will change into present tense will change into past tense, and present continuous will change into past continuous. Present perfect will change into past perfect, and past present perfect continuous will change into past perfect continuous. But if the verb is in the present tense, there will be no change in the inverted commas inside that. No, what already is spoken by the speaker. So remember, this is a very important area you children need to remember. Okay, now next, okay, changes to commas and quote. That comma and quote, see, first you have a comma, open quote, a full stop and a close quote. This together is called as the commas or the quote. Are you following me? So a comma and this quote and a full stop and a quote together is called a commas or a quote. Now if this much only is there, then that will change into that. Remove this one, totally remove this part and write there that instead. Are you following? And next you have an open quote, a comma, open quote and full stop and close quote, and you may have to write not to. In the case of a negative sentence, if the sentence gives a kind of negative sense, then you need to take not that but not to. Okay, and then you have a question here. See, a comma, open quote, a question and close quote. Are you all able to follow me? So, comma, open quote, question and close quote. This one will take no, that or no, not to. It will take if or whether. So, if or whether, you need to put for a question, you need to write if or whether. Use this if or whether to change your reporting speech into reported speech. Clear? And then you have here a comma, open quote, exclamation sign. So, this is called exclamation sign, the part closes with the inverted comma. Now, in this case, you are supposed to write exclaimed, wondered or surprised. There are many other situations also, whether a teacher will advise a student, then a mother will advise a student. Then in that case, you need to write advised. Sometimes your friends may ask you, they may request you, there you need to write requested. Sometimes somebody will command you, order you, then you can write he commanded. So that according to the situation, you should be able to change these terms into that. So example is given here, right? That, not to, if or whether, or exclaimed or wondered or surprised. So you see that, children, you be very careful while removing these quotes or the commas, and in the place of these commas or the quote, you add some other words like this, like that, not to, if or whether, or exclaimed, wondered, surprised, advised, requested, all these words. Is that clear? Okay, now changes in time. What changes we need to make if such words are given in the sentence? See, copy down all this. Ago. Are you all writing? Ago. Before. If in the direct speech you have a word called ago, it's a play, it's a time, some referring to some time before. So you need to write before. Instead of ago, it should go before, then only it will give you correct meaning. Okay. Now here, place, here, it will change into there. No, what you had met here in the classroom, classroom will not become your house, your maybe in the drawing room. Will it be equal? Yeah, classroom and a drawing room will not be same, no? It will be different. So here means classroom, there means your drawing room. And what happened in the drawing room, you come and narrate it to your class teacher, means that becomes your drawing room becomes the here and the classroom becomes there. Is it clear? Okay, that's how it is, right? Interchange. Now, here is another word, hence, henceforth, thence, then. And now, see a word, now, current. It changes into then. Last night, previous night, yesterday, the day before yesterday, today, that day. Clear? Are you following? Okay. Tomorrow, the next day, or the following day. The tomorrow can be changed into two ways, the next day or the following day. And last month, the previous month, tonight, that night. So similarly, there I would have left one or two words, but mostly I have given you. Similarly, you need to change. This all should be kept in your heart, right? Imprint in your mind, so that when you see it, see a sentence, when you come across a sentence, you need to remember immediately. These have to be changed. These have to be changed in this way. Yeah, ago is there. I should put not ago, but before. And here is there, but it should be written as there. Likewise, you should be able to change and write in the indirect form. Okay, now next. Changes in the place. Here, there, and changes in other factors. Time and place factor is there. Also, there are at times other factors. Okay, see here, this. This pen my teacher gave. You will not be saying this pen. That teacher gave the pen. This pen that teacher gave. Likewise, this, that. These, plural form. These will change into those. Come, go, thus, so. And changes in the person. The first person into the second and third person respectively. So this is how the changes need to be seen carefully and changed into according to the situation of your sentence. Now I have taken here around 10 examples. Each one you see how they have been changed into the indirect way, indirect speech. First example, Mary said, you see a quote here, a comma, open quote and a full stop and a close quote. So all together this one need to be changed with the that, not to, if. This is a sentence, ordinary sentence. So it takes that. So Mary said that, Mary told that. You can take also Mary told that. She, I, person, I, first person, changing into the second person. She need. Here is a past tense, said. So she needed a new set of books. That is all you need to change. It is made very easy. Are you all following? See, Mary said that she needed a new set of books. You can also write Mary told that. Mary told that she needed a new set of books. The need in the present tense changes as the needed in the past tense. Are you all able to follow me? Okay, now go to the next sentence, second one. Rani said to her friend, I like to eat a pizza. I suppose everybody likes to eat a pizza. Now, see here. Rani told her friend. Clear? Rani told. This set is there. We are not going to add it along with told, because told will not take a to. Make, similarly, make or made will not take a to. So, Rani told her friend that. You are removed. Have you removed the quotation mark there and put in that place that? She liked, I like, no, she tells, that is Rani tells. She liked to eat a pizza. Clear? And now, third example. The teacher said, the sun rises in the east. Now, here is a problem for you. The sun rises in the east is a sentence. It's universal. Always in the past, in the present and in the future, forever and ever, the sun will rise only in the east. For our sake, it will not rise. Clear? So, it is a universal fact. The sun rising or being one of its kind, some kind of universal truth, and habitual truths will never change the tense here. See, we told you set is there. When there is a set, this verb is supposed to be changed accordingly to the past tense. But universal truth will never change into their past forms. They will take as it is. The teacher told that the sun rises in the east. Okay, so this rule also you should remember in your mind. Universal truths will not take a change in the verb. Okay, now the fourth one. Gandhiji says, listen carefully children. Gandhiji says. So far you had a said. In all the 1, 2 and the previous example I gave, it all said. But here you have the verb says in the present form. Clear? Listening to me. Says, Gandhiji, the father of our nation, no one can forget. Gandhiji says, I will take nothing. Did you get the question? Gandhiji says, I will take nothing. So here is a verb which is in the present form. The verb here says is in the present form. We are not going to change this verb at all. It is so easy for you to change in the reported speech because it is in the present tense only. Very easy. See, the answer is Gandhiji says that he will take nothing. No changes to be made. Only you need to take away that quotation and add in its place that. That is all. You are getting a good and correct answer. That is, Gandhiji says that he will take nothing. Clear to all of you? Follow children. Be careful. Okay. Now the fifth question. He said, how did you do it? Sometimes, we are surprised. We will be wondering, how did you do it? Now, here. He said, how did you do it? It's a question. He asked how he had done it. Did. See, this did, this did here plays an important role because it is already in the past form, but it's supposed to be changed into the past participle form. Okay? So, not only already here we have one past tense and again we need not put another past tense because two past tense will not agree together any part of the sentence in a particular sentence. If it is a complex sentence, compound sentence, that's a different case. But in a small, simple sentence, two past tense, two past verbs will never take place together. So here we have an asked, and here it's supposed to be how he had done it. He had done it. The did, did, made, such words, they change into they had done, had done. He asked how he had done it. Is that clear? And we move on to the last part, another 5 more examples only. Now listen here, sixth example is, Sheila asked her mom, can the milkman bring milk today? You have this word today extra now, right? Sheila asked her mom, can the milkman bring milk today? What is your answer? By now I suppose you all are clear and you are able to change it, okay? You change correctly and then come to the answer. Now anyhow, let me give you the answer. Sheila asked her mother, her mom, if the milkman could bring milk that day. Are you following? Today changed into that day, and asked is in the past tense. So could bring milk. If the milkman, can is here, can changes into could and not brought. Okay, bring, could already we changed into the past form, and then bring as it is. Could bring, they changed into this. Could is an auxiliary verb, which I will be coming back again after some days of teaching you prose and poetry. I will be back again with you with grammar. So while we do that, we will come to this can and could and auxiliary verb, how they change. So if there is here, this could is in the past form, and then it's supposed to be bring, not brought. So Sheila asked her mom if the milkman could bring milk that day. Is it clear? Okay, now seventh question. Rupa said, it is a tragedy. Here is a light mistake. You correct it. It is a tragedy. Correct it. It is a tragedy. So something tragic, something sad happened. So Rupa says, oh, it's a tragedy. Now the answer is here is Rupa exclaimed. No, she is in surprise. And she exclaims that it was a tragedy. It's a sad thing. So Rupa exclaimed that it was a tragedy. It is a tragedy. Changes into was a tragedy. Now, Mani said, hurrah! Sometimes you watch this cricket and football matches, that time, you raise your hands and shout, hurrah! Ha! You shout. So, these are the exclaiming words, right? So, Mani said, hurrah! We have won the match. See, it's an entirely different form, have won. You check it, no? It's in the perfect, have won, in the past perfect tense. Now, Mani said, hurrah, we have won the match is the question. That put a close quote, okay? Now, the answer is, Mani exclaimed that they had won the match. Have changed into had. So, Mani exclaimed that they had won the match. And then, ninth question. Mohan said, I have lost my wallet on the way. My wallet, girls, you all carry a purse, and the boys and men will carry a wallet. So Mohan said, I have lost my wallet on the way. Now answer is, Mohan told that he had lost his wallet on the way. You have here have lost and it changed into had lost. Okay. Now 10th one. Mala said to Kala, no rhyming, Mala said to Kala, can you get in touch with me on the internet? Are you following? Mala said to Kala, can you get in touch with me on the internet? Now, she's saying, she's asking, right? So, you have to change it into Mala asked Kala if she could get in touch with her on the internet. So, Mala asked Kala if she could, because this is a question, we are adding an if here while we removed the quotation mark. So, Mala asked Kala if she could get in touch with her on the internet. And that's all for today. And we'll be again with you in the next class. Probably the plus 2 children, you be ready with your textbooks to get to know the first lesson for you all. Okay. Until then, see you all. Bye from us.